All right, I think we are now successfully live. Very oblivious. Thank you very much for that Twitch follow, my friend. Hello, DMC. Welcome to the stream. How's your day going? And Tario, welcome in. Welcome in. I get my watch on to make sure that I am constantly apprised of whether or not it is fuck up o'clock in the middle of this dungeon. Troper is okay. All right, so Troper, let me walk you through why the go live message was whoops. Because here's what happens. Here's what happens is I have a multi-streaming service. I put the titles in that multi-streaming service, and when I put the titles in that multi-streaming service, they overwrite whatever the previous title was in Twitch. So there's been a ton of streams where I get the category wrong, I get the title wrong. That's typically because I updated in Twitch and I forget to update it in my multi-streaming service. So today, I updated everything in my multi-streaming service, forgot to update the Twitch Go Live message after I had hit start streaming. Now the Twitch Go Live message yesterday was related to the free roast raffle stream. So that wasn't going to make any goddamn sense. So, in a fit of panic, I click over from the multi-streaming tab to the Twitch tab, I go to the Go Live message, and I type whoops, and I hope that it edits in time before the stream actually goes live, and it looks like it did, which is an interesting little bit of trivia for me. Mishi, yes, you did miss the free deck roast stream. Deck roasts are currently being sold via commission on my Ko-Fi page, which I can grab that link for you if you like. If you don't like, the next free deck roasting stream is going to be sometime in the first week of June, I am sorry to say. Hello, No Legs. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Ugh, this watch is like halfway... Watch is like halfway in between good and not good. Just to check in with the voice of God, are you only allowed one? Starry-eyed, if you want to buy one for a partner, that is okay. Otherwise, I would appreciate only buying one for yourself every month. But if you had, like we had last month somebody said, like, I'm buying one for me. I bought one for my girlfriend as their birthday present, which was a crazy thing internally for me. That was very nice. However, for yourself, I would appreciate it if we only bought one for ourselves each month. D-Man, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Hello, Maul. Do we put our deck list in the message on Ko-Fi? No, D-Man, as evidenced by the description, as evidenced by the Ko-Fi description, there's a post-purchase message which takes you to a Google form which has a number of questions that will tell me what I need to know about your deck and you as a person before we roast you. Oh, Starry-eyed, DMC was, they were probably just being a little silly. You can always drop 500. There's no limit. Hey, listen, there's no limit on the number of times you can hand me $500. Of course, yes, DMC, I would. Of course, yes, I would. She's going to... Oh, right, I got to turn back on... I have to turn back on all of our other stream redeems. Let me edit this one. All right. Custom cards are on, rants are on, personal questions are on. I have put an internal cooldown on custom card redeems such that the Darkest Dungeon streams can have a little bit more Darkest Dungeon and a little bit less 15 custom commander cards back to back to back. As much as I love them, I would like it to be a little more spaced out. Speak of the devil and he shall redeem a custom card. No Legs, thank you for those 3,000 channel points. Let's grab your card. Actually, here's what we're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to do the manual ad break. Then we're going to do your custom card. Then we're going to bust into this dungeon. I would buy one this month, but the ones I want you to roast have commanders that aren't out yet, like Counters Galore, Bant Titus, and Persist Mardu Celis. So no, you don't have to rush out and buy one. Please feel free to wait until they are officially released. If they have been spoilered, we will do them. There was a previous time somebody asked a similar question, and I expressed, I won't do anything that's been leaked, but if Wizards of the Coast has communicated this card exists, this is what the card looks like, we will do it even if it is not legally playable yet. So we will do Wizards, we will do WotC official spoilers like Titus, Celis, Y'shtola, Cloud, anything that's been officially broadcast is fine. We're just not doing anything that has been unofficially spoiled. It's illegal to buy 2 roast slots, right? Don't buy 2 for yourself. Correct. If you want to buy 2 roast slots, please only do it if you are buying 1 for yourself and like 1 for a friend. Yes, No Legs. Please go ahead and include that flavor. I'm going to hit this 3-minute ad break. Then we'll be right back with your card. Let's check on the Ko-Fi commissions. Okay, we have 33 sold, 15 left, so we are 2/3. We are 2/3 through the ordeal in 20 minutes. That is definitely healthier than we have been before. Who got in first for the deck roasting? DMC, do you want to know purchase speed or form completion speed? Because there's whoever bought one first. Both. Okay. I'll pull up both. Hold on. Let me go to my Ko-Fi page. God damn, does my internet not want to work today? The first person to purchase a Ko-Fi roast this month was in fact DMC, our Sinister Goon Vizier. Round of applause for maintaining that first place finish multiple months back to back to back. So it was DMC, then it was Zenorum, then Peter Ciarelli, then Ace, then Gorbash. Yeah, you do got that dog in you. And then I would assume almost certainly that you were the first to submit the form as well. I will double check that, but I would be shocked if you were not the first to make that. It was in fact DMC. The second to submit the form was Crab, actually. Crab got it in crazy style. Crab was only like 2 minutes behind you. Alright, so we got the... Alright, the ad has a minute remaining. We have a random smasher pass. Yeah, Alec, let me pull up that message. Dear Mald, I forgot to ask you this on stream last night, but out of the following list, which of the following prompts do you recommend? Goddamn No Legs custom card. Do you recommend I send as my next deck roast? What do you mean it's your turn? It's my turn. It's always my turn. 2, surprise, Masker Worm is here to ruin your day. 3, I do a metric shit ton of reading at you. 4, I cast an aura, I draw a card. I cast an aura, I draw 2 cards. I cast an aura, you fucking die. My literal pride and joy, the first commander deck I've built in paper, or if none of the prompts interest you, you can give me another combo and or archetype, and I'll at least think on it. I would be interested in seeing the Massacre Worm deck list, because I think that one is legitimately challenging to make interesting. I think we can tutor out a Massacre Worm without too much effort, but I think tutoring out or recurring a Massacre Worm in a way that does not make everybody want to hit you very hard with hammers is going to be the challenge of that. What's up, Cad? Stuff's going well. Maul, that might be too high strung to make good decisions, but I've decided to be one of the masses who gave you money. Hopefully it goes well. Thank you, Dark. And thank you for purchasing a deck roast today. Amazing. Alright, let me grab... most fucked up creature. Got it. Okay. Yes, I still want to see that with context. Now let's look at No Legs custom card. Barbadorum, Mirror of Ruin, a 5-mana Dimir shit pile. He's a 6/5, cannot be blocked as long as defended player controls a reflection. At the beginning of your end step, exile the non-token creature. Its controller creates two tokens that are copies of the exiled creature, except they are legendary reflections in addition to their other types. No. You let the devil in. You. We gotta fight this. We gotta fight this with love, because you let the devil in with this card. First and foremost, you are never using this on an opponent. I just want to get that one clear. It can't be blocked as long as defending player controls a reflection. Reads as never gonna happen. Not one time, not two times, certainly not a third time. Sold to the fucked up saw in half on end step. I do not know exactly how we are going to make this fucked up and broken. However, I do know that between ETBs and death triggers, we are almost always just hitting our own fucked up stuff. CAD, one kills the other, but importantly, you still get two ETBs and you get a death trigger if you have something that has like enter and leave the battlefield, or if you have something that is just a really good death trigger. You get like having to sack one for the legendary rule is not strictly a downside. Like, that's the thing we have to understand with this card. It's like, I don't get to keep both, but keeping both is not always necessary. So let me look at the flavor and see. It can't justify it, but it might at least inform it. Barbatorum is a demon from the Choir of Ruin. He is based on reflections. His main ability is splitting a person into two equal halves. The two halves are then destined to destroy each other until only one remains. The first ability is based on his ability to travel through reflections like mirrors and eyes. Okay. In that case, I think this card is just going into like Hall of Fame example of tremendous adaptation of shit that shouldn't be adapted. Like, have any of you seen that Bradley Cooper joint Limitless? We all remember that movie or that TV series. It's about a guy who takes a pill who makes him like Megamind, basically. Like, he can... A lot of bad pseudo-scientific justification like all sci-fi movies, but he takes a pill, becomes super smart, can do basically anything, kind of has access to like the mental speed force. Now, we could make an extremely accurate rendition of the Limitless Man in Magic the Gathering, and I imagine that it would play a little something like this, to be frank, because based on what you have said about the webcomic this is based off of, very faithful. Points for that. Very faithful. You're not taking a lot of liberties. You're finding ways to fit it in with the mechanics of Magic. And it's super fucked up. It's super fucked up. as Starry-Eyed is pointing out, getting my roughly on rate creature to be unblockable is in no way worth what is effectively I turn my opponent's non-token creature into a token. You could, if this is some type of Wile E. Coyote 8 layers of hell deep plan to make unsummon good in Commander, I'm with you. Maybe you can make a deck that does that, but for the most part, this reads to me like we have to do this on our creatures, and we just do something with like the most fucked up ETB effects or death effects in the world. Like, yeah, just I double massacre worm, I double massacre girl, I double massacre whatever. Also, Riffle Dupes, thank you for the 100-bit chia. Right, well, I gotta go play MTG in person at 2, but I'm happy to sit and watch you clear one dungeon between now and then. Hell yeah, Riffle. And then we have 2 random smasher passes, and then we can get into the first dungeon of the day. Mishyfish wants to know, Mauled, why do you sometimes just randomly switch accents whenever you want to criticize something? It's because at all times, Mishy, I am following the path of highest excitement. I am chasing whatever feels most enthusiastic to me, and sometimes it does not feel enthusiastic to me to criticize something in my normal voice. I like doing voices. They're fun. They're silly. They're goofy. Try it out. Alright, random smash. Oh, smash. I'll show her a font, alright? I'll show her a font. Pass. Yeah, pass. I don't want to boink Obnixilis in the mirror room. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Ah, yes, we do need to catch up on Good Girl Zoria's delayed custom card. Let me go find that. And then Andronicus as well, if they do show up. So we have Spider's Surprise. A 7-mana instant that costs 1 less for each creature attacking you. Create 4 1/1 green and black spider creature tokens with Death Touch. They gain first strike until the end of the turn. Oh god, oh fuck. Zoria the Hellion, last words. I like this. I think this is really cute. Definitely not bad Arachnogenesis, I don't think. This essentially is like 3 mana, kill 4 creatures at instant speed. That's pretty good, but it's not like broken. I think it should scale the other way. You are wrong. I do wish that I had the extremely loud incorrect buzzer. Since I'm probably get a new job soon, I gave myself a little treat and bought a May deck roast. I'm very excited to see Mauled roast my ass based on my alt-WinCon deck. Phyrexian HR office, thank you very much. You're going to have a terrible time, and I can promise you that. But yeah, name is good, flavor is good, flavor text is great, 10 out of 10. DMC, thank you for the extra 100 biddies. This spell reminds me of one of my pet cards, Flash Foliage. It's just green pocket sand, can even block unblockable creatures. Let me get a peep at this. That is pretty funny. This is the way green deserves to draw their cards. Is 3 mana per card. Elikman, I haven't tried wrong. I'll think about that. Alright, and then if Andronicus comes by, we have their next one. But until then, Let's do some dungeons. Unlucky, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. And Melon's away. Let me go see if you asked that personal question already. I don't see it, Melon, so Melons, either ask it now, or if you have not asked it, please repost it. I see it. Okay. Zenorum, thank you for the 300 biddies. Choo, 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 choo. Indeed. Thank you for continuing that hype train. Hey, boss, I got into Magic at college where everyone is broke and doesn't blink at fully proxied decks, but I'm home for the summer and suspect my LGS is not going to be a fan of my 90 slips of printer paper. What should I do? There's a couple ways to go about this, Melons. The first way to go about it is you never know until you try, right? The worst thing they can say is no, then they can talk bad about you behind your back, then they can submit falsified evidence of that conversation to your place of employment and your college in an attempt to get you kicked out and prevent you from ever holding down a gainfully employed job in your entire life, slowly leading to you losing your mind somewhere in the city streets. That's the worst that could happen, so why not ask? And then if they don't like it, a couple ways to deal with the proxy debate are, and this is a bad way, to be clear, you can set a budget limit. You can say, hey, I don't want to buy these decks because I like playing with a lot of different archetypes. However, I am willing to avoid playing hyper-powerful cards. You can say, I proxy everything. It is still bracket 2. I'm not proxying a Rhystic Study for every deck. I'm not proxying a bunch of tutors for every deck. I just want to be able to play Naya counters one weekend, and I want to be able to play Boros aggro a different weekend without having to fill in all my gaps with draft commons. Is that so much to ask? And then, like, freak the fuck out if they say it is. The other thing you can do, if you want to, because the thing is, the people in your LGS might be okay. LGS owners, if they are WPN stores, typically have very little room to work with on the whole proxy thing, because if Wizards hears that they allowed proxies in an event with prize support specifically at their store, they will lose WPN status. And if you are primarily a Magic the Gathering store, that is a death blow. So it's oftentimes LGSs have to some will do don't ask, don't tell. But many of them have to be our policy is no. So what you can do after that, you may not like the decks, but a really easy way to convince your friends that proxying might not actually be all that bad is to make a very reasonable proxy deck that's $150, whatever. And then you make a budget deck, and you make a really, really good Zada deck for $20, and then you just beat them 5 times. And every time they complain, just be like, this is all I can afford. Because the thing is, what's really good at budget is horseshit, mega annoying aggro strategies. And be like, if you want me to play cool stuff, I can. I don't own cool stuff. I own this goblin and 5 combat tricks. What do you want me to do? So that's what I would recommend. Is that true for all formats or just modern/standard? Dudlick, my understanding is that is true for any event held in a game store where they give you a prize. So even it technically, and again, my understanding of the rules is quite loose because I don't operate a game store, so I don't bother staying totally up on it. But my understanding is that if the event is held in the game store and they give you store credit, or they give you packs, or they give you a pin or stickers or anything from the store or from Wizards, that event cannot have proxies in it. It does not matter what the format is. It does not matter if it's an official Wizards format or not, but if it is held at the store and has prize support, proxies are not allowed on a WotC basis. DMC, thank you for the 100 biddies. The deck I submitted this month is under $200 and plays better than a lot of people's $800 decks. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like you just gotta show them. You just gotta show them that more expensive doesn't always mean fucked up. It can, but it doesn't always mean more fucked up. MX Doom, thank you for the targeted Smasher Pass for $5 on Ko-Fi of Celebrate the Harvest. My question is not if you would... Okay, I gotta... Hold on. They have a very specific Smasher Pass. View details. My question is not if you would smash the people in the art. It is if you would smash someone at the festival depicted in the art. This includes both you and the other person being in costumes like the one in the art. Yeah. What? Would sorry, I don't want to get the stream demonetized. Would I get down at a Renaissance fair? Do you see what I'm wearing right now? This is literally, this is just like vintage clothing compared to what I'm already in. Absolutely yes. Hard yes. Gray-faced Nico, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. Then we have Disgruntled's custom card redeem. Leyline of Negation. If this card is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Whenever you and at least one other permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 2. Love the art, by the way, first of all. Oh, someone on YouTube's hearing mic problems, so I'm going to mute and re-plug for a sec. All right, that will hopefully be better. If it's not, go to a doctor. Your ears are fucked. You're going to die in 3 days. Sorry about it. Nico, thank you for coming to a live stream, my friend. I don't know enough about Ward to know if this is broken or not. I feel like it's fine. But I also feel like this somehow makes the Is It Prowess deck in Standard even better, and I hate that. Maybe they wouldn't even run it. This is villainous with free mulligans. Okay, yes, Riffle, but free mulligans are a gift from the devil to tempt you. Free mulligans are already a bad thing. That is true. No Legs raises a good point. This is probably not okay just because the effect is good enough that you would pay the 4 for it. I do agree that 1 not 2 is probably better. Like Ward 2 on both you the player and any permanents you control. Oh, true. This makes like Blood Artist pings don't work anymore. Yeah, at most can be Ward 1, but this is an effect where like you would freak out to be able to do this as a pregame action, and you would be perfectly happy to pay 4 for this. Right, Melon King. Leyline of Sanctity does exist, but I think this is a fair bit better than Leyline of Sanctity, because Leyline of Sanctity... Okay. I'm bad at spelling. Thank you for outing me, Scryfall. Anyway, Leyline of Sanctity is pretty good. So Leyline of Sanctity will stop Blood Artist stuff. This other thing will stop Blood Artist stuff and will stop a bunch of targeted removal. Like, imagine if Leyline of Sanctity said you and permanents you control have hexproof. We would be like, the game would be cooked. And so it's not as good as hexproof because it's only Ward 2, but Ward 2 is really goddamn good. MX Doom, thank you for gifting a community sub to Mystic Donuts, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven. Miasma, I think something more background adjacent. That would be good. Background is good. Smitty, yikes. Thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the Doghouse. And Phyrexian HR Office, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub. Welcome to Dog Heaven, my friend. Then we have an Urza rant from Nightsea. We're going to do that in a few minutes. We got to get into some goddamn dungeons, gang. Hit me with another D&D character, Alec. DMC, I'm still smoking that Soda Pressed Despair pack. Reminder to use code MAULD for 10% off. Oh, that is funny that it erases my head. It doesn't erase. It can show more of the packaging, but it gets rid of my dome. Missed Magikarp, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome back to the Dog Home for the 11th month in a row. Almost to our anniversary. Okay. Let's get to business. We do actually have the A-team. Where's this guy? We have Poro. No, we have 3 A-team. God damn it. So we have 3 A-team members, but we could do A-team. We have other level 3s that could go with like part of the A-team. Level 5, which we can't do yet. We have level 1s. We have level 1s. What's this? I do not think we need more Plague Doctor shit. We can get a leper thing. We can get a speed thing. I think we go for the leper thing, in case we ever get any lepers back in the business. Danny Ugg, thank you for the Prime sub for the 10th month in a row. Also closing in on that anniversary. Welcome back to the Dog Home, my friend. Marty, that sounds fucked up, because I think we're like 50 heroes deep into this run of Darkest Dungeon 1. So that sucks. That's good, but like who? Oh, it's a Swine King again. I think... Is the Swine King that dumb motherfucker with the kid? No, that was the Swine Prince. We do not know what the Swine King does. Gotcha. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just run it on the Swine King. And by fuck it, let's just run it on the Swine King, I mean let's send a bunch of level 3s who we wouldn't mind if they died. Obviously what I meant. No, I am going to need a damage dealer. Do I have any... Let's take the Flare in case that becomes relevant again. Mecha Zelda, can you even... Oh, I don't want to take a level 1 on this, but I fucking might. Alright, if we have Sloth healing us... Oh, Wield Foe... Oh no, this is Warren's. This is Warren's. Okay. So we have Riffle Dupes, who can Blight, which I think is bad in Warren's, actually. So we might swap this out for someone who can bleed. We have Shadow Walker, who can just hit really hard. So we probably swap Riffle Dupes for somebody else useful. Maybe we send Moose. Maybe we send Moose to to escort everybody. That sounds good to me. Yeah, we have some healing, we have some damage, we have a stun. And then Mecha Zelda's our backline access. Okay. I can fuck with that. How bad could it be, right? We're going to run a prediction. This is still, I'm going to call this the B team because it only has one member of the A team. I am going to be protective of Crazy Moose's life. None of these people are people we would be happy to let die. So I'm not going to be frivolous with their life totals. It doesn't have me, so I worry about how well they're going to do. I mean, yeah, true. They should be worried, Ellie. They don't have you. And you are the day one survivor. So they are clearly in a lot of danger. Big scout. Big scouties, thank you. Oh, and Shadow Walker has all these crazy fucking items. What do you have? Dog shit? Excellent. Riffle, I love you. You were incredibly normal last swine on the Swine Prince run. It was, I don't remember if it was titties or if it was a different Arbalest, but it was the Arbalest with the flare that carried the, oh my god, Shadow Walker. Stop doing this shit. Oh, they have to be one forward to hit Illumination. Okay. Yeah, I think I just have to swap you up. What? Oh, okay. I see what's happening. We'll buff this up, and then next round we'll start illuminating them. Oh, this is some dumb shit. This is some stupid shit right here. Maldhound, I'm curious, how often do you play at your LGS? Now, basically never. I've been to, the last couple times I played in LGSs were playing for RCQs because I was like going with the decked out crew to try to qualify for like Pioneer RCQs and stuff. But that was a while ago, and playing in the Pioneer RCQ season is most of what made me give up on 1v1 Magic. Because that was just like, I think that was some of the least fun I've ever had playing Magic the Gathering. Okay, very solid dodges coming out from this team. What about pre-releases? Oh, I've done a couple pre-releases. Those are fun. I did not do a pre-release for Tarkir, though. Hell yeah, Zelda, thank you. Bro was already about to, clearly about to Virtue, by the way. Type shit, Shadow, thank you. I think I just heal everybody. Yeah. I did hear a lot of good things about Tarkir pre-release. I just never have like... Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. There's a lot of why go outside, quite frankly. There's a lot of like... Because streaming's tiring, then filming other stuff is tiring, and it's way easier than like a real job. Don't ever let a content creator bullshit you about how hard content creation is, but it does use up a lot of like the social battery, and so it's kind of the opposite from a job where you might want to go do something at an LGS to like unwind and have fun. After I stream and make funny videos and like reply to comments and all that stuff, I would like to sit in a dark room not speaking for a while. DMC, thank you for the 100 biddies. We were annoyed at my LGS recently because a couple of Pro Tour players learned how casual it was and started showing up to pre-releases to take advantage of the inexperienced players to get a free box. Totally changed / ruined the vibe. That fucking sucks. That's like, I've recently been getting onto poker Instagram, even though I don't give a fuck about gambling. And so one thing I've been seeing is like, there is this incestuous pit of poker players on Instagram who all, who all communicate with each other, trying to figure out where the, like, what casinos have the softest tables to make it the easiest to win money. Which I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense, get the bag, but that's like heinously depressing. And that sounds very much like what the people were doing at your LGS. God damn it, Sloth. If you could lightning bolt a little bit better. I should probably be stunning this guy, but I want to get... Okay, yeah, hey, I should have stunned that guy. What the fuck is happening to Sloth? There we go. Yeah, you're... Oh, he has 95% stun resist anyway. That fucking blows. Fuck this guy. You don't get a turn for sure. Mr. E, we are doing some Darkest Dungeon business today. This is fucking basically a boss. Prop 40, a bunch of dodge, and can hit for 20 damage a round. Hey, thank you, Sloth, for the crit. 4? Motherfucker's been hitting for double digits for a week straight and comes out with a 4.
For the slightest lapse in concentration.
I think I probably need to swap to like more bleed stuff. Quiet quitting in the dungeon is crazy. We're just... I worry that Zelda's about to fuck this entire run. Do you have any of the DLC? There's a couple characters that can really help against enemies like this. Revan, the only DLC I have and the only DLC I need is my bootstraps. Really, we don't have DLC because this is my first time playing through the game. So after we beat it, we're going to do Darkest Dungeon 2. Then we're going to consider going back for DLC type stuff. Thank fuck that guy is dead. Holy shit, that was awful. Hey, Maldy Maldhound. Why does your rank 1 Hellion have a ranks 2 to 4 skill equipped as one of the 2 damage dealing ones? Because you sound insane is why. This... Oh, breakthrough specifically is for if they get shuffled. This is, I prefer to just fucking wicked hack, but there's been a couple times where I rely on Hellions and it fucks me because I don't put breakthrough on them, and then one surprise fight happens and they die because I have to waste 2 fucking rounds moving everybody around. So I just put breakthrough on everybody. Yeah, but Iron Swan is right there. Yeah, so is Mecha Zelda. That's who's on backline, dude. I mean, the thing is, like, either Moose and Shadow Walker, their only job is to hit the motherfuckers in these 2 positions. Zelda's job is to get the motherfuckers in the back. And if Moose and Zelda get moved, Their job is to get back into the fucking front of the group. Alright, shove some fucking biscuits in your wounds. Let's keep it going. Big Scout. Okay. So we have to eat one more battle, but I think the best thing we can do is, yeah, just move down that way. What's up, Jim? I can't really do a lot to stress heal. So lightning bolt. Oh! Ooh! Riffle, the prediction only ran for 2 minutes, so it's just already over. Snipe it. Okay, Zelda, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck are you doing here? Honestly, more worried about stress than I am about damage, because Zelda is tweaking in the back. I don't know, heal everybody, sure. Honestly, I shouldn't have even... Yeah, I should have just lightning bolted, because we're going to rest before we do the boss room anyway. And when we rest, we're going to have to eat a lot of food just to make Zelda relax.
A trifling victory. But a victory
God
nonetheless.
damn it, man. Okay. Oh, well, fuck it, I guess. Sure. Who even fucking cares about money? Not me. Oh, okay. Where is the boss? Over there. Tremendous.
Follow it. Watch your step.
That's fine. That's fine. That doesn't matter. That's not going to stop me. Thank you, Shadow Walker, for so helpfully running ahead of the group to get the loot. Alright, go to bed.
Circle in the dark.
Gonna eat all the food just to make you fucking not crash out in the boss fight. Okay, battle trance would be alright. We have to get this motherfucker to calm down. I think getting prot on all these assholes is going to be good. And then we have 7, so we can do battle trance and we can do marching plan. So that's what I'm going to do. Lord Xavier, thank you for the 100 bits. Congratulations on making it to the hour without the roast selling out. Also, if you were in the process of building a deck, should you wait until next month? It depends. If you have a work in progress, I can help you complete it. If the work in progress is the thing you would want to be the focus of the roast. Another thing we changed about the roast this month is I made it so I put a new question where you can say, because I think personally, the roasts that I think have been the worst content-wise and have been, and have felt the worst on stream are the ones where I have misread how much the person wants improvements and how much the person just wants to be called a shithole on the internet. Because that whole you can lead a horse to water but you can't make him drink. I think the worst roasting experiences have been when I'm trying really hard to make them change their deck and they don't want to change it. They just want to be told that they're an awful person. So we added a question, or added a new category to the roastings where you can say, do you want improvements? If you want improvements, which of these 3 categories do you want the improvements tailored to? And if you don't want them tailored to something like that, we're just going to take this as a judgment activity and not an improvement activity. To be honest, with the new section, I picked the last option because I like improvement suggestions if possible, but it doesn't struggle in any particular area, LMAO. That is good feedback to have. I'm going to keep adjusting that session because I think that every deck that gets submitted can have a good roasting experience, but I think if you want help and I call you stinky, those end up bad. And if you don't want help and I'm trying to help you and you just wanted to be called stinky in new and creative ways, that also doesn't help. Darebrained, you can. I am going to pick randomly. Any deck can make totally fine content as long as we are aligned on what the process of, like, on what type of thing is happening. And so if you don't want to have that responsibility, I will take it on for you, but it will just be me rolling a fucking 1d4. Gag, it's in the Google form that should have been in the post-purchase information.
And now, the darkness holds dominion. Black as death.
Oh yeah, hey, look at that. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Look at how important Breakthrough is about to be. Amazing. Immaculate. Who could have guessed?
Executed with impunity.
Okay, good stun resist. That's positive. That's positive. Yeah, we'll probably add an explain yourself option. But it's kind of like,
Another one falls.
I don't know. There's another thing I want to try to solve for people is I think a lot of the people who, or a lot of the decks I've seen, Skinny, yes, the $500 instant deck roast would be a donation, not a commission. But a lot of the decks I've seen, when I try to have people elaborate as much as possible, what tends to happen is the deck author will tie themselves into knots. Like, if I let you say as much as you want, I get a very flavorful paragraph or complete Wattpad fanfic that is totally disconnected from how the deck actually plays. And that has been consistent for probably everybody but Elikman. Elikman is very, very verbose and tends to be pretty accurate. The rest of the time, the hundreds and hundreds of people who have purchased deck roasts, when you describe your deck more and more, the description gets further and further from the truth. And so when it comes to the improvement section, I'm actually kind of, I don't even qualify you as verbose, DMC. So we may just have we may just have different descriptions of like how wordy you are when it comes to your commander decks specifically. You are verbose in general. Your commander decks are typically not like overwhelming. About a paragraph is totally correct, Intario. And as Arwen Spence is saying, brevity is the soul of wit. So when it comes to, I legitimately think this deck needs improvements. If you can't tell me what feels bad in 5 words or less, I don't think letting you explain more is helpful. I think at that point, I just have to look at the deck myself. Like either you can tell me in half a sentence what's bad, or you cannot tell me at all, and I just have to discover it for myself in the roast. 5 words. People keep bullying me, Mauled. You dumb motherfucker. That's good. That's one of the options. One of the options is I do the thing and people don't like it. People keep, like... Eris, thank you for stepping in with that totally accurate interpretation of the assignment. That would be enough. The EDH brainworms got me. That is also enough. See? See? So it's like, as somebody who has terminal yapping disease, I understand what it's like to just...
It is a travesty.
Is this the same fight again? Please, Mark.
And rage.
Herm. Okay, so it looks like mostly the same abilities. I'm just going to hope for the best and fucking pound this guy. Lightning bolt. Oh yeah, Britt, the free roast session is gonna happen every month. I should have swapped. Okay, so Tiamat, the genie advice rule is only in effect about things I may not have known of. So let's walk through a real life example of when you can dispense with the genie advice. In this fight, I should have taken bleed because the Swine King is vulnerable to bleed. I probably should have anticipated that the Swine King was not going to shuffle people, and so I wouldn't need breakthrough. This is a situation where you can just dunk on me for taking the wrong abilities because I know all of the important aspects of them, and I just didn't spend enough time considering what I should be doing. I at least got Rallying Flare off, which will save... Ah, bitch. Okay, only 8. So the thing I kind of got tied up about for this one is that I'm wanting to break down a deck and have it do something else, but the core would be similar, but I kept rewriting the primer because I didn't want to, like, influence what direction you'd recommend. I mean, influencing the direction I'm recommending is the whole point, Zenorum, because I never want the deck roastings to be, you send the deck roast in, and you put deck in, and you get out a Mauled Hound deck. Every roast I want to be, you put a deck in, and you get out the most you deck possible, and I help show you, oh, okay. So that's the problem, is his speed is 1, and this guy's speed is 4, but apparently doesn't fucking matter. Excellent. Fuck you. Yeah, shithead. How you feel about that? You fucking dick lord? Yeah, so this is really just a war of attrition, and then when possible I need to get Rallying Flare out. Non-genie advice. Genies are bullshit. I wished for a cool deck and they gave me fucking Ur-Dragon. Oh, fuck that genie. Thoughts on Captain Howler from Mr. Rogers. Captain Howler's cool. I wish he worked a little bit better, but he works well enough and he's pretty fucking dope. Hey dog, why are we... Of all the people, I thought that I was going to see Quiet Quit in a dungeon. Never thought it would be Moose. Never thought I would catch Moose straight ruminating in the middle of a boss fight. But here they are, not getting their goddamn job done. Something I'm curious about. How much contact do you have with the roasties over email? Typically very little, but it's always as much as is necessary. Typically, I would say for all but maybe 1 or 2 roasties every month, the contact I have with them is limited to I email you the day your deck is being roasted, and that's it. Now, if we have to reschedule you, or if you want to change the deck you're having roasted, or if you want to change the primer, or if you want to change whether or not you want, like what type of advice you want, then you email me. But there's typically never, there's not really like a lot of back and forth. Thank you, Walker. Entario, thank you for the 200-bit cheer. Man, I just love how my oven sets off the smoke detector in my apartment. Put these on for you, Entario. It's all love here. That sucks, brother. I'm sorry. Are you dead yet, bitch? I hate this fuck. Bleh, almost bought the last one. They sold out while I was updating my address. Guess that's the decision made. Maybe next month, or I'll aim for 100 live for my B-Day. Hell yeah. Magic Mirror, we killed the prince already. This is the king. So this is like the next level. I think he has... okay, swag. I don't think he has twice as much health, but he has definitely more health than the first one did. Yes, no legs. The partner thing is part of why I put the cooldown on the redeem, because a lot of people were redeeming partner cards, background cards, flip cards, and so we would spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about every single card, and we would have like 5 or more to review after every dungeon, and we would just never do any dungeons. Thank you for the crit on the person who's about to get fucking obliterated. Oh, thank you, DefCat. Shout out DefCat, my producer and good friend. And then, oh right, what I was gonna say to Greyface Nico, the pricing for the deck roasting is definitely going to hold for at least a month. I had a meeting with DefCat earlier this week on a ton of new hotness that we're going to be doing to improve the roasting procedures. And so if the roasting slots increase in price again, it is going to have a commiserate increase in production value and excitement. So if you want to get one next month, we're going to run it back at the 69 price point. So you don't have to worry about like, oh God, I missed this month. Now it's going to be $200 a pop. Also, fuck you, Vince. You piece of shit. Of the bosses you've already fought, Necromancer, Prophet, Siren, Swine King, Flesh, Shambler, and Collector, how would you rate them in terms of aesthetic, design, and overall sauce? I mean, they're all like 8 out of 10. They're all fucking awesome. I hate fighting them, but they all seem... So far, they have always been pretty fair puzzles to solve, and they look disgusting and fucked up, but the art style is like just cartoony enough that I can kind of disengage myself mentally from it. So yeah, they're all bangers. Sweet Jimmy, I was just saying the deck roasts aren't going to be going up to something like crazy like $200 or more. I am actually going to spend some turns healing because now I want to try to get some treasure. Dog Sauce, you are so right. This team would be doing way better if we had a Mesmeric Orb. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Stop squealing, you dumb little bitch. Oh my God, everyone's asleep. Alright, kill him. Kill him, beat the kid to death. Shit ass. Okay, heavy boots. Ooh. Ooh, hold on. That prod is kind of... That prod is...
As the light gains purchase,
Fuck bleed. We'll keep this. I don't give a fuck about no man-at-arms, dude. Trying to keep this money up, you know? No, I did not, Xantoma. You sound crazy. You sound crazy, you dumb motherfucker.
destroyed.
Hot take. I kind of love a rank 4 man-at-arms. I can't even assess how hot that take is because I hate men-at-arms so goddamn much. I know that they should theoretically be good, but kind of like the Jester, I just haven't taken the time to build a comp around them, and so every time I've played them, they've just felt like worse Crusader. Like, I'm sure there's some cookery you can do with the man-at-arms and the caboose. I have no idea what it is, and it's not a Hellion critting for 30, so I don't give a fuck about it. Fuck this thing. Give me the crest. Don't read. Don't read, bitch. Don't. We feel good about that? Feel good about that, you dumb motherfucker?
A blazing star is born.
The Warp Box, oh no. Okay, we surprised him. Thank you, Teengus. We're okay. We're okay here. Lightning Bolt! Genie Wisdom. Wield the stick before your company thinks themselves wiser than the trained. The carrot is expensive, but can be harvested for seasons onward. Brother, what the fuck did you just say to me? Okay, wield the stick before your company thinks themselves wiser than the trained. The carrot is expensive, but can be harvested for seasons onward. No, I can solve this. I'm smart. I have autism. That's enough. I have autism and a genius level IQ. Your riddle will not defeat me. I am going to interpret this as at some point there will be dissent in the hamlet. And I will have to enact I will have to somehow punish dissenters because the good rewards are always going to be there, but if I keep chasing, if I just chase the carrot, my underlings will eventually start revolution, and then the whole run will be cooked. Underlings, more like under things, LMAO. Thank you, Miasma. I have autism and a genius level IQ. Your riddles will not defeat me. Bruce Wayne. I mean, fucking... Oh my god, Moose! You sleepy bitch! Kill this guy. Thank you, Shadow Walker.
Cleansed from our lands.
Okay, chill as hell. Break that bitch. Why is it always spiders, man? Why is it always spiders where we just fucking come apart at the seams? We did just review this custom card, no legs. In fact, we did just review how the spiders were gonna fuck us for the 18th time. Yeah, get out of here. Kettle, you are here. Perfect.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
We are about to finish this mission, and then do you have time to do your makeup roast today? I don't have room for any of this shit. That's not good. We can get rid of that. I feel like we need bus. We can only, it's 3 to a stack? This game fucking sucks, man. Some gentleman with a Russian name in YouTube chat. What's your opinion on Total War Warhammer? I don't think I've played it. If that's the Warhammer video game, I've played it and it's fun, but what? Okay. Fuck ass game. Ooh, and we get a surprise round. Hell yeah. It's the grand strategy Warhammer fantasy game with armies fighting it out. Oh, I've never really liked strategy games. I think I'm beginning to like them more now that the stuff that I do with my day is less thinking intensive. But when I was in school, I was training to be a chemical engineer. And so the idea of having to think really hard all day and then go home and in my leisure time do an activity that required me to spend more time thinking just made me want to weep. And so I never played strategy games. I was like, this fucking sucks. The closest I got was MOBAs, because there's a lot of background strategy, but there's a lot more like momentum going on. So for things like Total War Warhammer, just never experienced it. Okay, Sloth, why are we trying to die in the last fight of the dungeon? Damn, that's crazy.
Now the true test. Hold fast or expire.
That's crazy that you're just gonna fucking fold.
Another life wasted in the pursuit of glory and gold.
Sloth proved they couldn't handle it.
Fear and frailty finally cling.
Nothing else to it. Nothing else to it. Sloth proved they were not ready to be a member of this company. And I will always be grateful to them for owning up to their weakness and falling over dead, instead of pretending that they could keep going and choking up in a boss fight. Girthy Poro, thank you for gifting a tier 1 community sub, my friend.
Obliterated.
Yeah, we just gotta cut through these bodies. Shoot that guy for fucking no damage, bitch. What are we... Yeah, shoot him again. Thank you. Okay. We have to get the healing book back. We don't need torches. I like the intuition book. How much do I like it, though? I think we're okay leaving this behind. Oh, okay. We made like no money though. Oh shit, Moose is 5 though. Slugger's dope. Stress Eater's fine. Sloth is fucking dead. Alright, so we gotta throw, yeah, we got a ton of building materials. We gotta throw fucking Zelda into some meditation. Walk. Dog, what is fucking wrong with you? You can pray. All right. So next, what's going to happen? We have King Kettle's makeup roast to do. So we're going to do that. We also have to handle Elveril and Whitebread's custom cards. And let me go ahead and look up King Kettle's roast. And then we have to do another manual ad break. So I'm going to hit the manual ad break while I pull up all of the logistical pieces to handle these various redeems. Then I'm going to go to the bathroom and we're going to get into the custom cards and the roast. I believe it was March that this got submitted. Maybe it was April. Starry-eyed, yes, that's a victory. We can have, if members of the crew die, but we complete the quest and we make it back to town, that is a victory. Like we left that dungeon on the victory screen, so that is for sure a victory. Kettle, I am having trouble finding your roast information. What email address did you send it from? Zelder, you are good. You actually just clutched up and made it to level 3, but you are stressed out as fuck. So you are being sequestered in the church right now. Okay, I'm going to use the bathroom while I wait for King Kettle to sound off about the email that I'm looking for. I'm going to pull up Whitebread's card so that you may gaze upon it while I poop. You are welcome. Then I will be right back. All right, we are back. First, we'll be looking at Whitebread's card, then Elveril's card, and then we'll be getting into King Kettle's roast. Kettle, thank you for supplying that email. Let me pull it up. Perfect. Found it. See it as a primer and everything. Whitebread's card, Knight of Those Past. 8 mana, 5/7 with flying. On ETB, creatures you control gain Swamp Walk and +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. I think that's tentatively okay for Black Craterhoof. I'm trying to think if there's... I feel like Menace is more thematically appropriate. Because if we look at green Craterhoof and white Craterhoof, we have Trample and Flying. Both of those are a form of evasion, but they don't go all the way into like totally fucking unblockable. And so I think for Black Craterhoof, Swamp Walk is either trash or completely unblockable. And then if you do Urborg, it's totally unblockable. So I think what would be better is +X/+X and Menace, not Death Touch, because I think the point of these types of effects is that the keyword should help you get damage through. Fear is also too good. We do not want it to be like... I think Fear just becomes effectively unblockable. Trample is not effectively unblockable. Flying is not effectively unblockable. Fear and Swamp Walk are either this means nothing or totally unblockable. Oh, it could have Death Touch. I don't think that would... I don't think it having Death Touch would be a big change. But I think it should give Menace instead of Swamp Walk. But I like it. Then we have Elveril. Steve, Beloved Investigator, a 3-mana 2/2. On ETB, make blue. That has when blue attacks, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a 1/1 counter on blue. That's quite cute. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice 3 or more clues this turn, you may search your library for a non-land card, reveal it, then put it into your hand. There's the crime. There's the war crime. How fucked up does that get? Does that get fucked up or does that just get linear? If I built a deck that had to be all about generating clues, if to make this go off, I had to unironically play Thraben Inspector, is that deck good? So what I'm worried about with this is less that I think what I worry most about with something like this is that it becomes bracket 4 jail very quickly. Tutors for Times Even, Tivit, Nightmare, Nightmare, Nightmare. Like the first 2/3 of this text box seem 100% designed for a fair and fun bracket 2 mess around, and then the third text box is just so much more powerful than most. Like, tutoring is just good. I am a believer that the targets are typically more problematic than the tutor. Tutoring is still a very powerful thing, and it's very meaningful to be able to just grab anything out of your deck. And it's not difficult to explode clue generation either. So it does seem... it seems like it would really quickly fall into the dichotomy of like, either you kill me before I do this, and my deck looks like it sucks because I played like Thraben Inspector and then another Thraben Inspector and then Steve. Or I play literally any artifact sacrifice outlet. I tutor for something fucked up and good. And then I try to win the game on my next turn. I feel like it would be... I feel like we have to restrict what you can tutor in some way. Yeah, rather than sacrifice 3 or more clues, then I think we could do like, if you activated 3 or more clues, yes, you can cost reduce, but at that point we start to put enough like cogs in the system that it's not big cheatery. So I do think we have to limit it there. Otherwise, it just becomes like, hey, kick the baby in the head before it puts together a shotgun, or you die. Blue just left another clue, is something I say when my dogs take a shit. Miasma, thank you for that very important contribution. Then yeah, I think you change it. I think you change this to put some type of break on what you can tutor for. But after you put a break on what you tutor for, then I think it's great. I think the dog's very cute. I think blue eats clues to get big and strong is also very cute. I think the costing is reasonable. I just think tutor anything puts you very quickly into the realm of it's either going to be garbage or it's going to be fucked up and hateful. Danny, what if you added something like when Steve dies, blue also dies? That just furthers the already bad situation of if card work, it work too good, and if card no work, it no work at all. When Steve dies, tutor for Joe. Perfect. What's up, Raven? I'm doing good. How are you doing? I closed the YouTube stream, so I have no idea how you're doing. All right, we now interrupt this scheduled Darkest Dungeon stream to do King Kettle's makeup roast. Let me pull this up. No. We're going back to Darkest Dungeon. Everybody pack it up. Fuck this. Fuck this shit. Okay, let's look at the 80,000th attempt a Commander player has made for why their Atraxa deck is totally normal and fine and you should be nice to them. So we have Proliferate. He is who I... Oh, let me look at the primer. Hi, this is my Atraxa Super Friends and Infect deck, and what it does is Super Friends and Infect. This is what I am sure everyone hears when I pull it out, but this deck was built to play level up cards. And trying to make these cards that start bad become mostly mediocre, with a few that can be devastating. It's a silly deck because most people don't understand what level up is, and only see Atraxa and immediately reach for guns. I tried to make it a 5-color version, but no 5-color commander can pilot the deck well as Atraxa can. I tried a 3-card combo to instantly proliferate all of my creatures up to max level, but that was a pipe dream to assemble without making the deck a bracket 4 where I know it can't survive. Some useful cards help move counters around and even put shield counters on to keep the sensitive ones alive. I found Scheming Fence is a great way to steal a Soul Ring, or in the late game, name a bunch of good creatures. Details, details, details. Lastly, before you crash out over a Johnny and Vraska being in the deck because of what they can do, I have to say, after being blown off the board multiple times simply because you're playing Atraxa, that made me decide to lean into what people fear, which is abusing planeswalkers and having only a backup poison mechanic win con that can only shoot one person, not the whole table in one go. I am just trying to make the deck consistent enough to not get blown away in games, but be playable and hold up against even just precons, which seem to have the ability to bully the deck into irrelevance. Okay. Kettle, first of all, I'm so sorry, because in everyone's Magic the Gathering journey, they fall in love with a mechanic. And you have my deepest sympathies that you fell in love with the level up mechanic, which is a shitty, no good and bad mechanic, and you have now been pushed into being the devil your playgroup knew you always were. So my understanding of this deck is that we care about these 16 creatures. We care about a fucking 2-mana 2/2 that will one day become a 2-mana 6/6. Actually, that's not true. We have to spend at least 5 mana and then wait multiple turns for them to become a 6/6. So we want to make these cards good. I know off rip, there's one of these that's fucked up and broken, which is this guy. We have, like, the level up cards range from, oh, if you leveled me up, one day I could be an overrate creature. Wouldn't that be nice? And then there's this guy who goes, yeah, if you level me up, I will rip the fabric of space-time and I will twist it upon itself like a fucked up human centipede donut, and then I'll eat it. Is that good for you? So off rip, we have a very big dichotomy in what the level up cards would do. And what I always suggest when it comes to things like this is it's always insufficient. It's always insufficient to build a deck around a mechanic just because you love a mechanic. It's like falling in love with a specific school of martial arts, and then you try to take it to a street fight, and you immediately go, oh, well, obviously, I need a gun. Yeah, I need a big snake lady gun. Because Zhuang Fu was not actually effective when the other guy hit me with a crowbar. And so, you have to tunnel in. I realize you probably already think you've tunneled in. Like, you've probably cut a lot more level up cards than you were comfortable with. But the starting point for any deck has to be, how the fuck does this win a game of Magic the Gathering? And right now we've got tremendously bad creatures, or I take every turn forever. And so it's both like, it hurts deeply to be bullied off the table, and you deserve it. Because at any point, it's fucking Lighthouse chronology. Not at any point, it's telegraphed. It takes a while for you to put together all of the mana and all of the proliferation for this. But this deck, if we pull up this deck has this type of escalation curve. You do dog shit, dog shit, dog shit. Here's a 4-mana 3/3, dog shit, dog shit, dog shit. I take 4 turns per turn and also kill you with Infect. So if we want the deck to be consistent, we have to be consistent around a better dream than just, I have level up cards in here. Like we have to go, okay, I have level up cards in here. These are the ones I think are the best. Like frankly, I think we could be on some type of, I was gonna say untapper game plan, but this is really the only great tap ability we have. Tapping elves for mana is better if we have more than one incredibly sexy elf. But trying to put this many disparate level up cards into one strategy is always going to be a problem because you can only fit so much shit into one ass. And right now this deck desperately looks like it needs a colostomy bag because it has too much shit in its singular ass. And we can see that because we've already had to corrupt the deck by parts into like, okay, well, I guess I'll do Planeswalkers that can give me card advantage. Okay, I guess I'll do, you know, Fathom Mage, which is instantly better than any of my self-made millionaires. I like the mortgage applications. Like, it's good ramp. You could probably stand to add like one more land, but you're not terrifyingly low on lands. She's thick as hell, so I'm with you there. Hater stuff. Are you like one of those people that doesn't curse because you think it's rude? Maybe damning verdict a little bit. But I have seen, like, let me here. The haunting background music is on. Let me let you in on a little secret, King Kettle. I was supposed to, as part of a multi-creator collab, I was supposed to roast some Atraxa decks that got made by other YouTube deck builders, and one of them made, and it was meant to be like 4 different Atraxa decks. And one of them made an Atraxa level up deck and made a primer and video about how good and cool it was. And looking at that deck made me so sad that I didn't do the collab. And I'm getting a lot of the same emotions looking at this one, where level up cards they convert so poorly to a win that it, best case scenario, they get to be garnish. And right now, you're trying to make them the hero flavor. Elk Shield, I hated Elk's deck for that. I really, like, that video still might come out. Trinkets was the best, hands down. Everybody else did Tumblr Kid, LOL so random shit, and Trinket built an actual deck that played somewhat differently from every other Atraxa deck in the world, and everybody else just built a content deck that sucked mega ass at Magic the Gathering. So we have the first problem of this mechanic is, it's not even 2000 and late, it's like 1900 and late. None of these are very good build-arounds, other than maybe Lighthouse Chronologist, which just becomes like kind of a fucked up combo deck. Who did keywords? That was Oh, I can think of his avatar, but I can't remember his handle. Trinket literally just did a +1/+1 counter deck that was aggro instead of like big stompy. And it played quickly and it got to the point and it was infinitely more respectful of people's time than every other Atraxa deck I've ever seen. So that one was both like, you have a content angle here and you could sit down and play this deck without hating yourself. And I don't think that was true of every other Atraxa deck I saw. All the other Atraxa decks I saw fell into this pattern where it became, here's this very cute thing we're going to be focused around. Can that thing win a Magic the Gathering game? Absolutely not. You are the gorilla and your table is the 100 humans that could definitely beat you in a fight. Let me look, God, let me look at these other level up cards. Holy shit. So what we want deeply, if we are going to make any attempt to fix this deck, is we want stuff that becomes useful at low levels. Like the last level here is kind of Planeswalker Ultimate. It's pie in the sky. We've let people do whatever, like people have let us do whatever we want. Why the fuck don't we have this guy in here? Oh, and this is all of them? What in the fucking leftover wood shavings? Yeah, Flufflesnuffleupagus, I am in a darkest dungeon right now. I am in the dark, dark dungeon of King Kettle's brain. Okay. So, legitimately, the best thing you can do with this deck is go bracket 1 and cut all of the Planeswalker Infect backup stuff. Because there are maybe 2 level up cards in here that are worth a singular goddamn. Those cards being Lighthouse Chronologist and Kazandu Tuskcaller. The rest of these are awful. And I say that as a person who loves awful Magic the Gathering cards. I hold them near and dear to my heart. Boy howdy, these cards suck. Like, you would have to pull these out of a latrine pit because they smelled so much worse than the shit and vomit and piss around them. So if that's the type of Magic we're going to be playing, we need to commit to doing that, because otherwise what's going to happen is if we try to make these guys the centerpiece and we try to support them with other stuff, the support is not only better than them, the support is so much better that it erodes the flavor of our deck to an unacceptable degree. I don't know how many people you have played this deck against, but if we interviewed them after the game, I feel pretty confident that most of them would go, oh yeah, he said this was a level up deck, and then he just played Vraska. And I don't mean that in the sense of you're a liar. I think you're doing your best to play a level up deck, but I think level up is so held back that anything you do to try to support it from a playability perspective just immediately becomes a thing you should do instead, rather than a supporting actor. It's like trying to have Henry Cavill be your supporting actor. He's the only one we care about now. Like, as soon as you make this guy a sidekick, you fucked up. And that's kind of what you're doing here, except Vraska is your Henry Cavill. And so if you want to do level up, I would double down on level up. You might have to give up on Atraxa, because I very much doubt anybody would be like, I doubt anybody would believe you if you said I'm doing a level up deck with Atraxa. Or a bracket 1 deck with Atraxa, because if nothing else, she is an incredibly strong board presence. Legitimately, what you might be able to do, because I do have a lot of familiarity with really, really bad decks, if we want to get a level up deck that works, you could do yes, gunfire in the streets. Yes, gunfire in the streets. However, this is the only bracket 1 deck, or this was the first bracket 1 deck I saw that was actually good, like could play Magic at all and was bracket 1. For this deck, what it was the Ethical Planeswalkers list, where every creature, there were no Planeswalkers, and every creature in the deck was a desparked Planeswalker. So it was like a pile of shitty creatures that had no synergy with each other whatsoever. Mango, zoom in on the self-made millionaires section. And so I think if we want to get... And now the problem with doing that with Atraxa is that Atraxa is a good enough creature by herself that people are going to be like hesitant about accepting that at bracket 1, because they're going to be like, oh, well, you can just play your commander and never play the level up cards, and you can block forever and just beat people to death. Prismatic Bridge does not give you board presence, and if you go, hey, this is Prismatic Bridge, every creature is a level up card, and you fully bind yourself, you method act this bit. You do, here's my Prismatic Bridge deck, every creature in the deck is a level up creature, I have no Planeswalkers, and then I just have like sorcery and artifact ramp to pay for these fucking level up things. And the whole point of the deck is, how do I float enough mana, or how do I like, because then you can even do things like Inexorable Tide to eventually start proliferating your counters in the late game. But I think the only way this deck can live as a level up deck is if you kill the part of it that's an Atraxa deck and kill the part of it that is trying to play good Magic and fully give into, I'm playing really bad Magic because I love bad Magic. And then that gives us, how many more level up cards does that give us? Then I want it to be a creature. Okay, we have 26 creatures. That is, hey, that's just enough for one deck. You get to play every single one of these, and these are the only creatures in your deck. And then you just run, like, artifact, instant sorcery, ways to ramp to pay for these, or cost reduce activated abilities, or proliferate, or whatever you want. And you just make the deck an exhibition of these dog shit level up cards, but they are so dog shit, I do not think you can build a functional bracket 2 deck and still have that be the actual focus. Tazri Stalwart Survivor. This is not true. I think this is... So notably the strength of doing... I mean, you can do this. You can have this as like a secondary commander if people don't want to accept the Prismatic Bridge. But the thing to understand is your creatures are all so bad that having to pay to cast them is a hurdle you cannot overcome. That is how bad the level up creatures are. They are so bad that having to tap mana to cast them fills even me, a notable jank lover and staple hater. It fills me with such despair that I would not be able to complete the commander game. And so even though they're cheap, it is relatively important that you get a way to just like play them for free. And also we're only going to have 26 creatures in the deck. And so mill 5, put creatures into hand, might draw us 2 for 5 mana versus we play Prismatic Bridge as our just like... Every turn, we get to play 1 level up creature. That's it. That's what we're doing. Every turn, after I make WUBRG, every turn, I am getting one of these shitheads onto the field. And then I'm going to try to hit you with them. And then that allows you to play both the red level up creatures. Going into bracket 1 allows you to stop trying to keep up with decks. Like, even when we get into bracket 2, you have to play these guys against Taval the Balanced Scale. Go home, dog. Just go home. Like, you're not going to get it done. Could you just use a bunch of strong untap effects with Tazri would lend to feeding the deck itself? I think you could, and it would immediately run into the same issue the Atraxa deck is already running into, where the stuff we do to support it takes over the flavor of what the deck itself is doing. It's just going to be like, it's going to be Intruder Alarm pseudo combo. I don't know if Intruder Alarm would be the thing because we're not going to have like a ton of creatures entering the battlefield. However, it would be that same kind of flavor where it's just like, because that also is going to require you to take a bunch of stupid ass long turns. You are going to spend fucking 30 minutes a turn cranking 90s in a Tazri Survivor deck to get a fucking 3/3 with half strike. Yeah, oh look, I took my 20-minute Tazri turn, and now I have a 2/6 with Vigilance. Isn't this deck cool, you guys? Versus you play the Prismatic Bridge, everybody groans when you reveal the commander, and after like turn 3, turn 4, you just go like, okay, for my turn, I flip a 0/3 onto the battlefield, I tap out to make them a 1/4, pass. You are now respecting people's time. You are now respecting everybody's time. You are doing bracket 1 appropriate things, even though people are going to be like, no way, that commander's so fucked up. This will be a situation where you just have to like show them the deck list. And the worst part of this is you do have to accept level up counters are a bracket 1 ass strategy. You will not survive in these streets, dog. Okay, you are not making it past the church pews. As soon as the light of Christ or Muhammad or whatever deity you pray to is not protecting you, your ass is cooked, okay? Cooked, minced, mashed, boiled, put in a stew, sucked on in a negative manner. It's all bad. You can't do it. So rather than try to make this good, because in trying to make this good, you're just going to become every other Atraxa player, let it be bad. And let it be bad with a Prismatic Bridge that can make these creatures worth casting, because the only price I would pay for these motherfuckers is free. Because we could do a million more things like Rask of Betrayal's Sting to make this deck more able to win, and everything we do kills the dream of this deck, which is level up deck. Even now, we're in bracket 3. What are we doing here? Let me just see how the deck currently plays. Good. Good. Unkeepable dog shit. Exactly what I wanted. We have at least 3 lands. I'm going to try to make this one work. Do we have a turn 2 play? We have interaction. That's nothing. That's not nothing. Sorry. Freudian slip there. Okay, turn 3. I play a 0-3. Fuck yeah. I play my commander. I have no level up counters on. The table everyone at the table has pulled out a pistol because I've resolved the Traxa, but I have no level up counters on. At this point, I throw my hands up. And I say, please, 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 don't shoot me in the head. I swear to you, I'm playing such a silly and fair deck. It's just level up counters. And the table goes, okay, we believe you. Then I play Teferi Slows the Sunset, and then I am shot 18 times in the chest. And I'll also play another level up card. Helios, you think I give a fuck what colors I have access to? I got 4 lands. I'm playing Atraxa. Talking all this shit. Think I give a fuck what colors are on the screen? Hey, guess what? This shit taps for blue now. As a special Maldhound deal, Indatha Triumph is now also an island. So we are proliferating Teferi, and we would have upticked him last turn. I think I drew an extra card, but dear Lord, does the deck need it. So now we play Echo Mage. I level up one of these assholes. I have a 1/4 now. I'm still, and it's like, so we have, I want to impress upon you from like a tactical standpoint. These people may not even hate you, but we have, your deck is currently chugging at basically 100% power right now. Like, you hit land drops. All of these are command towers, so who cares about the colors? But you hit land drops. You've played 3 level up creatures. You've had interaction, and you've played Atraxa. And here is your deck at 99% power. It is not only understandable, it is advisable for the entire table to gang up on you and kill you, because Teferi, who slows the sunset ulting, would be so fucked up and bad. And so when we put in planeswalkers like this to try to support the strategy, he is supporting them so hard. He has raised them up so far that they are no longer visible, and all we can see is Teferi's dangling nutsack above the table. And so I think this playtest does a very good job of impressing why this can't be how we fix it. This can't be how we power it up, because if this is how we power it up, these guys don't matter at all. But if we get rid of these guys, both Atraxa and Teferi, and we go to our Norwegian Acid Trip commander, we can just put all these guys in, and then every turn becomes, okay, I get a level up guy. Can I ramp? Can I put shield counters on them to protect them? You could even hold up interaction. But the strategy of, I'm going to do this with Atraxa, or I'm going to do this with Proliferate, no. If we go for Prismatic Bridge, is it worth trying to build in Zirda as a companion, or is that too much for the meme build we're running? I think it's too much only because I think the deck lives and dies entirely on the promise you make to your table that the only creatures in the deck are level up creatures. More so than the only creatures in the deck, I think you have to promise people the only things in the deck the Prismatic Bridge can hit are level up creatures, and also I shot Lighthouse Chronologist in his stupid fucking head. So I did lie when I said you get to play all of these. You get to play 25 of them. Herbert has to go sit in the goddamn corner. And then there are no other creatures. Everything else is a mana artifact, a ramp spell, some type of board banner to help you get a board presence. Entario, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. This deck falls into the I write a threat check, I can't cash trap. Yes, it does. Right, Inquisition, but then as soon as Zerd is the companion, we have a creature in the deck that is not a level up card. Fundamentally untrue, MLP. Fundamentally untrue. It wouldn't be hit by bridge. This would still be a creature in our deck that is not a level up card, and it is disqualified as a matter of course. It's just not like, if we want this to be a convincing bracket 1 deck, we must be totally married to the gimmick. We cannot be attempting to look for excuses to break the gimmick. We cannot be trying to, like, as soon as, if you have a bracket 1 gimmick and your deck building process is, oh, but if I word it this cleverly, I can, like, sneak this useful card by, you have failed. Thank you, baby.
It came out perfect this time.
Yeah.
So it's sticky rice balls with dipping sauce.
Thank you, honey. Like, it doesn't matter what you got your table to. We're not going to bracket. Slight Coyote, this shit is never making bracket 2. If we try to force our way into bracket 2, we have also failed. This is a hardcore bracket 1 truther strategy. What if Atraxa didn't come out ASAP until one set up the board? Still doesn't matter. The deck, it doesn't solve the core problem of the level up creatures are too shitty to do anything just with proliferate. And the things we do other than the level up creatures are so good that our deck is no longer a level up deck. There's no way forward for this deck with Atraxa as the commander. I have seen multiple versions of people try to build this. It always sucks. It always sucks from a gameplay perspective. It always sucks from a bit perspective. Cannot do it. But this we can do. And then, as chat suggested, you can play stupid shit like Lithoform Engine. And then you can be like, yeah, my deck's dream is to I get out, if you don't remove anything I do, I get 2 level up creatures a turn instead of 1. Isn't that fucking awesome? Please? And then, like, the way you win is fucking, you do like Flowering of the White Tree, and then you can probably find more thematic banners than just this, but you just do some type of creature banner and you just be like, yeah, I love the level up creatures. The level up creatures are going to beat you to death. I don't think this works how you want it to. But I would just do like Flowering of the White Tree, Oh no, DMC. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the 100-bit cheer, DMC. Is Heartstone in the deck? We could use something that discounts our level up abilities. No, because again, this isn't like the deck list as it is not a level up deck. It is a lobotomized Planeswalker deck that somebody snuck 16 level up cards into. Oh, where you get a win for having 20 creatures. I would not do that. Straight up. Straight up, hit them with a Chroma's Memorial before you hit them with a fucking alt win con. We're not doing the bit justice. The bit is we are playing level up cards, and I am going to beat you to death with creatures that level up. If anything we're doing to win in bracket 1 is not, a level up creature is picking up a hammer and hitting you with it, we should not do it. You could run stuff like Defense of the Heart too. People would probably, this is probably too much in bracket 1. Even though it's not a game changer, this is quite fucking good. This is quite fucking good. Beastmaster Ascension is also like, we should put this in. I mean, honestly, it's not unreasonable without, as long as it's not Atraxa. But yeah, like, this is how we win. I play Beastmaster Ascension. I swing a million level up creatures at you. Eventually, the level up creatures get good at fighting, and then you die. Peace. That's how we do it. Full stop. So you can look for more things like that. You can look for... Is this Augury? You can look for instants and sorceries that are going to support the plan while still being card advantage. Where having things that proliferate, so like Experimental Augury, Tezzeret's Gambit. No, I think MLP, I think leveling them up is one of the main things you're doing. That's why I said Beastmaster Ascension is like almost too good, but for the most part, the reason we're doing Prismatic Bridge is so that we can spend all our mana on leveling them up. Like, Flowering of the White Tree alone does not solve the problem of these guys being complete dog shit. We do have to pay to level these up. No, you can't, because that's not... Or wait, is the Minotaur... The Lord of Shadowskull Pass? Yeah, we can use this guy. Is Aki Battle Squad a creature that's not... Okay. We're done with suggestions on account of everybody trying to subvert the fucking gimmick. We're placing you on the pyramid. That is the ruling on the field. It is standing. I promise you, I respect the effort you have put into this deck as it is. If you try to do anything else than what I have suggested, it is permanently going to feel bad. You can never marry the two worlds of level up cards and playing Magic that doesn't suck. So just play Magic that sucks. It's very freeing. It's very freeing. It smells very good. And I think you did the best you could to support what is a criminally bad strategy. And now we're kind of forever stuck down here. So please, please, please. Please, please, please get Prismatic Bridge. Get some type of banner or combat-based win support that is not a creature you can hit with Prismatic Bridge, and then just ship it to people as like, this is bracket 1, level up creatures, kill you. So Kettle, thank you very much for the submission. We have another custom card to redeem, and then we will try to get through another dungeon. We have Fluffle Snuffleupagus' card, Abrams, Case Cracker. 7/5 mana, 7/5 with Vigilance and Haste. Make 2 artifacts on attack and tap him to fight. Fuck off. What? Fuck tremendously off with this. MLP, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. Nightsy, I'm going to refund your rant request because my head hurts too much to think about Urza right now. Like, this is, so first of all, for 5 mana, we start at 3 hits to lethal, which means if we do extra combats or double strike, two taps to lethal, we get we generate 2 tokens the turn this guy comes down, which is good. And it also acts as removal for anything worse than a 7/5 the turn it comes down. I think you would have to cut... Yeah, like we would have to cut the stat line tremendously if you wanted to keep the artifact generation. You could maybe do on combat damage investigate if you wanted to keep the rest of this. But if you want it to be investigate twice on attack and then be able to sack a clue to fight something, this guy has to be like a 4/5. He can still have a fat ass, but he cannot hit this hard. He just can't. It's just fucked up. Then we have the Thorburn Boogeyman from No Legs. Other pact card. Blake has a habit of losing pieces of himself in every fight he's in, then shoring himself up with power from his allies or enemies. Scrap counters are a double entendre, and this card version is 1 note. Okay. 4/4 for 4 with Enrage. When he's dealt damage, exile a card from a graveyard. Whenever a card is exiled from a graveyard, put a scrap counter on it once during each turn. You may play a land or cast a spell from exile that has a scrap counter on it. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. If you cast a spell this way, you are color fixed. That seems really good, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it's too good or not, but from a value generation standpoint, this just seems like self-mill, and then I swing out every turn, and I enrage. Oh, true. And we're turning on all other kinds of exile synergies. It's similar to Korem, but also much better. Yeah, you could make it a lot more fair if you did exiled from a graveyard this way. But Korem only gets stuff that was put in. Korem only gets stuff that got hit that turn. Thorburn Boogeyman gets stuff for the entire game because it's counters. So you could kill this guy, you recast him, and then he still has access to every card that ever got exiled while he was on the field. That's fucked. It might not be CEDH fucked, but that's like, you're at least 4 years ahead of the Wizards design team in terms of power creep. I mean, it can't go. You don't think a second hand that no one can interact with, has no size limitation, you pick what goes in it, and is mana fixed is fair? Yeah, like... The once per turn is saving it a little bit, but I'm not sure it's saving it too much. I think it has to be whenever a card is exiled from a graveyard in this way. And if you do that, people probably gasp every time they see it, but it probably plays fine. Next, we have Zorio's Josephine the Antiquarian. Rakdos 1/1. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, make a tap treasure only once a turn. Sack 3 treasures, redirect something targeting Josephine. That seems fine. That seems terminally fine, even. Yes, Andronicus, we can do your catch-up one as well. Where is this? And finally, we have Rise from the Reeds, which is a 5-mana Abzan enchantment with 3 mana, sack a land, exile a creature in a graveyard with mana value X or less, where X is lands in graveyard, then make a token copy of it. Activate only once each turn. I feel like this is instant staple for a number of decks, but is like the worst staple. It's like the worst card that every Abzan self-mill deck is playing. So for that, I fuck with it. Very good job, Andronicus. All right, we're going to hit another manual ad break, and then it is back into Dungeoneering. Eris, I do believe it is time for you to see the light of day. MLP, we've got like 20 people who've been waiting forever. I think it's been like 3 weeks since we had an opening. Eris, you are now our newest bounty hunter. You want the Vestal? That's too fucking bad. I need some goddamn frontliners. Hey, that's very nice. That's very nice that you want the Vestal. Get in the goddamn front. You're getting hit. Yeah, you about to be scouting like a motherfucker. Duke, I have no idea if you are dead yet. We don't have room to grab everyone else. Also, I'm curious as to why you think that Jester requires the team to be built around him. Because the times I've played Jester, they just haven't been impressive. Also, MLP, thank you for that Prime sub for the 7th month in a row. You will be rejoining the roster, be sure. And Swamp Gorblin, thank you for the 5 months in a row with that Prime sub. Welcome back to the dog home. Siren, just like how there is strategy, there's stuff that we don't let into bracket 1 and 2. What about the removal and interaction suite? At what point should we say this piece of interaction is too good, or should we be pushing these lower brackets to bring more and more efficient removal? I think what the lower brackets need, honestly, is worse removal that's flashier. Like, it's not that... I don't think bracket 1 suffers because Swords to Plowshares is too good for what bracket 1 and bracket 2 are doing. I think bracket 1 and 2 suffer because they don't play things that can hit multiple things. Like bracket 1 and 2, y'all need Vandal Blast. You know what bracket 1 and 2 need? Ruinous Ultimatum. You need incredibly expensive shit that is incredibly effective. We don't need as much. You don't need Mana Drain in bracket 2. In bracket 2, you need In Garruk's Wake so that your board that is made up entirely of 10 dog shit level up creatures can actually get through and deal damage. Like, we need more of that shit. We need more things like River's Rebuke to just blow a person out. I think the poison that people get into is they go like, oh, at really high levels of play, being able to play at instant speed is important. Therefore, if I want to help, if I want to support my bracket 1 deck, I should play good things I can play at instant speed, like Cyclonic Rift. You just don't need it. What you need to spend 3 to 5 mana at sorcery speed and blow out multiple problems, rather than just constantly worrying about like, oh, but what if I could like ankle shoot you at your end step? Shut the fuck up. Play at sorcery speed. Who cares? Just do something when you do it. DMC, thank you for the 100 biddies. Wave Goodbye is the most bracket 2 removal I can think of, but it only works in certain decks. Yeah, this is totally appropriate. Elikman, there's a cooldown on it because we're generally spending too much time on, like, I very much enjoy mixing the Darkest Dungeon streams with Magic the Gathering stuff. However, if we're doing a variety arc, at some point we actually have to play the variety game. What can we upgrade? What do I need to get the Stagecoach better? Instructor Mastery, Weaponsmithing, Armorsmithing. What do I need? I need everything. Good. Everything. Good. So I need Portraits and Deeds. Wow, Siren, that was a very funny sentence. Enjoy your ban. Okay, is this worth anything? Not really. Oh, good. We could get something for the Man-at-Arms that we're never going to have. It's a timed cooldown. Yeah, and as Shadowwalker says, that's also why the dungeon backlog is so big, is because we'll do like a 4-hour dungeon stream, and we don't get to swap anybody in because we review custom cards for 2 of the 4 hours. Okay, we can do Highwayman shit, we can do Suncloak. Okay, I like this because I have been I play in bright, bright sunlight very consistently. Do we have any other... We could get Poro up. Yeah. Can Duke and Scamp go in front? They don't want to. They don't fucking want to. Ruins Phobe. That's no fucking good. Okay. I think... Dog, you got the fucking yips? What is wrong with you? I think we bring this team in. Super Gub, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Rant Redeem, rant about difficulties in teaching players how to play a game good. I think so much of it is just psychology rather than the actual difficulties of the game. I think the biggest individual difficulty in teaching somebody how to play a game well is that the teacher will often be more concerned with being seen as a good teacher than they are with teaching well. I think far too many people I've seen... Oh, hello, Beeps! You get put in by begging in chat or by giving me money. I think the people that I've seen that are the worst teachers are the ones who think that the time you spend talking is directly correlated with how good of a teacher you are. Same way brevity is the soul of wit. People learn really, really well if they are allowed to try and fail and overcome on their own with a little bit of direction versus being sort of led by a leash the entire way through. That changes because teaching is highly individual. The way you learn is not, there's not a like universal best way that every person learns how to do something. But the people I've seen fail to teach other people how to do things well have typically failed because they view the teaching as an opportunity for them to info dump rather than it being a process that they are observing and rarely interacting with on behalf of the learner. Yep, I agree with Swamp Gorblin. Leading questions, let them figure it out. If you're just like, if any part of your teaching process involves the phrase, here's the download, it's probably a not great teaching process. Unless you saying here's the download leads into you giving like a very one note, here's like 2 sentences about how this works. But don't you want the person you're teaching to have a comprehensive understanding of the rules going into a game? Fuck no. Never. I can't think of a single game that's made better by ensuring that everybody has a like comprehensive understanding of how the game works when you start. Oh, DJ doesn't have... Oh, we didn't turn the headphones back on. One sec. Haunting music off, headphones back on. Start prediction. B team success. Go, 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 go. Like there comes a time where you have to give people very comprehensive walkthroughs about how a thing works as you get into the more complicated pieces of a topic. When you're trying to introduce somebody to something, or when you're trying to teach them anything, it's never helpful. Some of the best teaching advice, or it wasn't even teaching advice, one of the experiences in my life that I look back on the most fondly when it comes to thinking about how to be a good teacher is in algebra. He was a math teacher who I had both an algebra class with, and then later in my life I had calculus classes with him. And the way he taught people and the way he talked about math was nothing in math. There are no topics in math that are difficult. There are extremely few theories in math or things you have to do in math that are complicated in the truest sense of the word. But what makes them feel complicated is that every concept in math and science is a bunch of really simple concepts all stacked on top of each other at the same time, and people attempt to describe them to you as those 18 things stacked on top of each other all at once, rather than just telling you the simple thing one at a time. And that was how he taught me math, and that was how he taught everybody else math, and anybody in that class who gave a damn got really fucking good at calculus. And I've adhered to that way of thinking through the rest of my life. Like, pretty much everything in the world is extremely simple, or it's just a lot of simple things all stacked on top of each other. And if you try to tell everybody all of those simple things all at once, it's just too much and makes it feel complicated, even though it's not. We gotta heal this bitch. I can think of a few games that are enjoyable if you comprehend things ahead of time to get your enjoyment and learn things more from then onward, like Dwarf Fortress or Terraria. If you play those games blind, you will probably not enjoy them. Sure. But even then, I think at that point we just get into an argument about the semantics of, you know, what is understanding the base mechanics of the game versus what is having a comprehensive understanding of the rules. For the record, when I say comprehensive, I'm not talking about every single fringe interaction. I'm thinking of this is how a turn works and how you win, all broken down step by step. These are the game objects, this is what they do, and why concepts X, Y, and Z are important. Yeah, no, don't. That's bad. Very clutch virtue, Siren. That's too much. She's okay, Cyberite. Cyberite, if you fuck up one more time, you're fired. I can't handle this shit from you today. One more fuck up and you're done. Phoenix Blaze, whether or not you can be put in is determined entirely by whether or not people from the team die. But yeah, like I learned, Z and I learned a new game a few weeks ago. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a type of like quick and strategic card game. And literally all of the explaining that they did was they said, here are the resources. Here's how you get them. Here's what you can spend them on. And then we started taking turns. And learning the game took like 10 minutes because we asked all the clarifying questions and then we remembered everything because we took it upon ourselves to ask the clarifying questions rather than having somebody else just like talk at us for like 10 minutes. Roar, if you donate bits or gift subs, I will allow you to dictate what class you want to be. For the most part, I choose based on what the team needs. What do I think I'm going to do? I think holy water is the thing I can get rid of the most easily. Yes, you are still alive, Siren. Oh, thank fuck. Okay, and I have to look at all of these because I learned the other day that curios and quest locations are actually different on the map. Fuck that bandage.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear. A handsome reward for a
I think crusts were the most okay. What is the path forward for the World of Warcraft playgroup? We are leveling up off stream, and then we're just going to be running it back in however long. So what we're doing it as is we're treating the level and spot that we died at as the high watermark. We're leveling up off stream until we get back to that point, and then we are running back the rest of the challenge with our new playgroup. Because basically, like, if we had to stream the re-leveling process, it would kill our channels, basically. It's so difficult to... I'm struggling so much to make that content interesting enough in the first place that if I have to stream a lot of just like me hitting boars for 5 hours, it would be crazy boring. So what's going to happen is eventually there will be an announcement like, hey, we're ready to start again. Come back this Saturday for the first time we get back into the dungeon. Also, Hot Anime Moms, thank you very much for the Twitch follow. Welcome, or for the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home for the 9th month in a row. 9 months in the doghouse. Bow wow wow. It is hardcore WoW, yeah. Yes, it was Razor Fen Downs.
With loot are often low on supplies.
Fuck that one piece of food. Slight Coyote, if you play on Stygian, you can just fuck up. I'm playing on like normal difficulty, and I think on normal difficulty you should be safe against soft locking, or at least I fucked up so bad. I really doubt that you're going to fully soft lock yourself if you just learn on the fly like I did. Maldhound, I actually wanted to ask you, how do you see decks that are trying to be as strong as possible within a thematic ceiling and or reason? Do you think it's fair to them to play the most broken lands, mana rocks, to facilitate the jank they're trying to build under. For example, an Orzhov deck being a Lich role player, heavy CMC and 0 creatures, but fast mana. I tend to think that those are the best types of decks. Like, to me, those are peak. When we marry power with a dedicated theme, I think oftentimes people will be trying way too hard to make a theme that shouldn't exist in Magic the Gathering exist in Magic the Gathering. So it can be like, oh, this is a good idea. In practice, it still sucks as a commander deck. But that's generally how I try to build. I just don't, especially with the advent of the bracket system, as I build and playtest a deck, I will kind of get a feel for like, what bracket does this feel the best in? And I will avoid, like, I don't try to make everything bracket 4, but thematic. Like, I try to get a feel for like, does this feel good as a bracket 3 deck? Are the game changers that I put in here, is the bracket 3 stuff that I put in here overpowering the theme of the deck? If it's not, then we can go more powerful. If it is, then I'm gonna power it down, because I always want the thematic thing to be the flavor that people remember when they come away from the deck. So if you're talking about, okay, Orzhov 0 creatures, there is some type of, I'm sure there is some type of creatureless win the game combo you can do in Orzhov. And if that's in your deck, I really doubt anybody remembers that deck as Memo's Lich deck. They probably remember that deck as Memo's Infinite deck. Like, it's all about if these are the cards, or if this is the energy that I want to be the main flavor of this deck, what power, what strength is most appropriate to let that flavor shine. So there's the level up deck we looked at earlier. We could have made that bracket 4 level up. We could have kept it Atraxa. We could have doubled down on the Lighthouse Chronologist combo, and it still would have been a deck that used the level up cards. And you could have called it a bracket 4 level up deck, and it would have sucked mega dog ass to play against. And nobody would have believed you when you said it's a level up deck. They would have been like, oh, it's a Super Friends deck that happens to win with Lighthouse Chronologist. And that can repeat a million different ways. So I really try to avoid those situations. You got complained about for playing Lethal Vapors. I mean, depending on the bracket, that sounds very appropriate. I am typically a believer that stacks is unnecessary outside of high power. But at high power, it's not only necessary, it makes the game more interesting.
Unsprung and thirsting for blood.
To circle back, oh my god, okay, good surprise. To circle back on Alex Man comment, but if the game is impetitive, I want to lessen the impact that my knowledge advantage has going in when I teach somebody. Maybe it's just me who feels this, but I think it's worse to not explain things that might be critical later and have that permanently poison the well for something on a game if you just win and they feel like they didn't have the knowledge or tools necessary to actually win. I think the misstep here is you need to accept there is no way to make a competitive game that you are teaching somebody else fair in the first game. In the first 10 games. Probably not even in the first 100 matches. There is no amount of explaining you can do that will lessen the knowledge advantage to a sufficient point that you should not just be automatically winning. If you are teaching somebody else a game that is competitive, you are going to beat the fuck out of them because you are an adult and they are a baby. They are a baby who cannot walk. They are a baby who cannot feed themselves. You should either be mechanically handicapping yourself in a crazy way. You should be telling them that whoever wins does not fucking matter. There is no amount of explanation that will level the playing field. You just have to let them get reps in, and you just have to let them ask questions. And after they have played the game for like 3 fucking months, then you can worry about trying to have a like fair match. You just can't have one. I think the belief that the match could be fair is what's tripping you up here. It cannot. Unless you suck at the game. If you suck at the game, totally fair. Janice, no. But to the degree of like that is a I would not like bitch you out for that. I would literally never put that in one of my decks. And I would probably avoid playing with somebody if I knew it was in theirs.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Porpoises, I'm going to need something more specific than Secret Lair commanders. Siren, I'm gonna need you to fucking tighten it up, dude. You gotta do better. Islor, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. So now that we aren't auto-firing abominations, can I come back? Depends on when somebody dies. The team's full again. Okay, you'll die. Oh, he's being fucking guarded. Dog.
Teetering on the brink,
What?
facing the abyss.
At this point, you're just not trying.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Hey.
Injury and despondence.
Okay, no, I'll wipe you all. I'll wipe you all. If you want to be failures, I will allow you to be failures. You think it's any skin off my back? That's four new people to get to join the team. You think I give a fuck if you all die here?
Fate is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Alright, Girthy. Alright, Girthy. How about you calm the fuck down?
As hell. No hope at all.
Brother.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
About your personal feelings about their impact on the game. I love them. That said, I never played Magic at a time where Universes Beyond wasn't a thing. The entire time that I have played Magic the Gathering, Fortnite cards have been a thing in Magic the Gathering. So I really like them. I think that people that aggressively dislike them are holding on to a memory of the game that doesn't actually exist. Like they are conflating new game mechanics with the death of their own childhood, and I could probably help them unpack that in time, but a lot of them just don't want to confront it, or they're using Universes Beyond as a scapegoat for other things they don't like about the game, like the fact that the game is getting more powerful as time goes on, like the fact that Wizards of the Coast is a company that wants to make money and not your friend who came up with this game in their garage, which is they've always been a fucking company that wanted to make money. And it's just now Universes Beyond is a highly visible scapegoat for look how greedy and stupid they are. Jim13, thank you for the 100 biddies. I played MTG in revised. Universes Beyond is cool. Yes, it is not a... It's not a, if you're an old head, you hate Universes Beyond, otherwise you think it's dope. I've just never met a new player who hates Universes Beyond, is what I mean. But it does not go both ways.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
This is unlocked already.
Glittering gold, trinkets and balls.
Alright, where the fuck is this quest location, dog? We just pray and sing and drink and lay the fuck down and sleep. Caller of Crows, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. Alright. We're not totally cooked, despite Siren's attempts to sabotage the party. What? The coral is creepy?
Curious is the trap maker's part.
I agree with the sentiments that we're getting too much stuff. I think we're like... I do think we're getting so much stuff that the average MTG player has to abandon the idea of keeping up with every set. Which I think is in many ways healthier for the game as a whole. Because we talk about like, oh, we're all tired of getting... we're all so tired of getting all this product, and then the views on new spoilers are the most viewed content any Magic content creator can make. All of the new sets sell better than the previous sets sold. And so like... we can all comment that we're tired of the product shotgun as much as we want, and then all of us, like, everybody lines up for the daily product shotgun every single time. And so it's tough to, you know, take that to anybody within the confines of a corporation and be like, yeah, hey, slow down this rush of product, because people keep giving you money and views and positive feedback.
A powerful blow.
Yes, it is 1 redeem per 20 minutes, Alec man.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
It will eventually end is my thing. Like, they're going to run out of other IPs anyone actually wants to buy eventually. I mean, tell that shit to Fortnite. Right? Like, tell that to anybody playing Fortnite and any of the million crossovers Fortnite has done recently. Like, empirically speaking, yes, they do have to run out eventually, and also they may never run out in a context that matters. Like, they may just never ever run out in a way that actually matters. Sea Otter, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub, my friend. And Caller of Crows, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friends. And Disgruntled, shut the fuck up when you got one of the card redeems. Spit again. Thank you, Cyberite. I haven't even looked at how my heroes are doing for like 10 whole fucking minutes.
How quickly the tide turns.
Couldn't that argument... Oh, yeah, that's... Well, yeah, which is what... I was letting people send 12 at a time. Oh no. They engaged with the thing I asked them to engage with. Like, redeem oversaturation was a good thing, and now I'm just trying to peel it back a little bit so that we can one day beat Darkest Dungeon to one day beat Darkest Dungeon 2. So Sea Otter's asking, I am curious, do you think there is any saving the state of Standard? I do enjoy playing, but I recognize that it's a dead adjacent format. I don't think you can save it because I think Standard right now is really good at what it wants to be, and what it wants to be sucks for a lot of people. So there's no saving it because there's nothing to be saved. I hate playing Standard. Most of the people I am friends with hate playing Standard. But Standard is doing a very good job at playing how it's designed to be played. And so it doesn't suck because something's going wrong. It sucks because things are going really right, and this is just what Standard is supposed to be. You can't save that.
As victories mount, so too will
Oh!
the light, the promise of
Hell yeah! Fuck these crests. Actually, no. Fuck this torch. Give me the crest. Forgot to open that with the antiquarian, which does hurt. I swear to God, if it's down to the left, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna be so fucking sad. Do you think that stems from power creep or having too many sets in rotation? I think it's power creep. Having a bunch of sets in rotation is part of that power creep. Doom, I'm checking it. What would MTG have to cross over with in order for you to think they've gone too far? I don't think there's anything because there's already plenty of universes beyond that I don't give a fuck about. I think what's going to be going too far is the card quality of a crossover being bad and not the crossover being corny. MTG could do Blue's Clues. MTG could do... I mean, there's some stuff where I think it would be like morally unconscionable. Like if Magic the Gathering prints a Kanye West commander card with the types of things Kanye currently stands for, or if they print a Donald Trump commander card, that is too far for me to ethically continue to support that company. But in terms of realistic IPs, you could do Yu-Gi-Oh!, you could do Blue's Clues, you could do Great British Baking Show, and as long as the card worked, I'm literally never going to think it's too far, because I just don't have... No, it can be real life. It depends if the real life is morally bankrupt assholes or not. But you could do like anime, Who cares? You could do fucking Paw Patrol, and I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I'm just not. I don't care about the thematic insulation of Magic the Gathering in that way. Jim 13, blockchain MTG would also do it. That's a good shout. And DMC with the 100-bit cheer. If Wizards did a Harry Potter set, I'd quit the game on the spot. Yeah, supporting a dumbass turf is also... That's a tough one. So, but the like, to close the loop, there is essentially no IP that would be too far on the basis of the IP itself. Why are we Call of the Deeping a fucking squirrel? Delvagor, the dungeons are dark as fuck, but we are getting through it. Kind of. My Vestal just marked themselves. Squirrel? I said snail. You all sound crazy. I'm not tired. You're tired. Yeah, this is Salubrious Squirrel in our Darkest Dungeon stream. God damn it. I am surrounded by failures. Let me eat my rice balls in peace. Darebrand, I'll be emailing you.
Success so clearly.
Streamer, how do I wash off the disgust of playing blue in this Duskmourn draft? Kettlebell workout. Easy. Easy. 15 minutes. You're going to hate yourself. It's going to be great for you.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
Delvagor, this is currently the B team.
Strength to follow it.
Baby, they're very good. Everyone say hello to my girlfriend Z-Main character who made me delicious balls to snack on. This shit better be in the last room. I'm gonna get so fucking mad. I'm gonna get so fucking mad if this stupid shit is not in the final room. Hell yeah. We have not reclaimed edging yet. I don't know if we're ever going to. Ooh, Darebrand. Yeah, foot tear sounds fucking terrible, man. I hope that gets better soon. Siren. My god, man. Fucking handle business. He's gonna live by one. Like, we had the incredible Virtue Clutch, and then Siren's just been swinging at ghosts all fucking game. Okay, 6 damage. I think we blow you up. Yeah, fuck that guy. There we go, Siren. I mean, the thing is, Siren, you literally have the yips. Like, you have a quirk that fucks up your accuracy. Raven, no. I have not. Oh, thank God. I think a better way to frame this is I have been on every single actual play show that has invited me on. I think to date I have turned down the Worries. What the fuck are we talking about? The Worries. What's up, Just Diesel? Welcome to the stream, my friend. So we have some Cove shit. We're rich now. Very big. Okay, we're gonna fix your diarrhea. We're gonna fix the worries. Bro has the goddamn sads. Go meditate. Go meditate. Go pray. That victory predict is being paid out currently. I was thinking about firing Cyberite, but they showed up by the end. Let's see if we have any trinkets worth purchasing. The ring of guy killing. The big ring of me shooting guys. We're still fucking low, so we still need deeds in Fortress. God damn it. Treasure Cruise is quite fun. Mauled, what's the furthest you've traveled to appear on a Commander show? I think like technically half the country, because I showed up for a Tabletop Jocks recording, but it was at a Magicon, so I kind of traveled for the Magicon, then we filmed there. Otherwise, not far, because I wasn't super far from Prof to begin with, and they and Prof and Decked Out are like the only shows that have invited me on that are physical. I've been on Elder Dragon Hijinks, which was a lot of fun, but is also filmed via OBS, so we don't have to be there. What if I invite you to an actual play in Europe? Money has to be right. Nope, not been on Moist Criticals yet. Now, I will say I've been invited. What about exposure? How about you expose yourself to this? What if I invite you to play with me just because? That has happened. I do not reply to those emails. I do not reply to those emails ever. Somebody asked me one time to come play Strip Magic with them. That was kind of funny. Okay, we have completed the requisite 2 dungeons for 3 hours of stream time, and we are going to raid out for the day. Let's see who's live. 3-3 Elk is live. We're going to raid them with the indestructible Justin rant. Please hit them with it. Thank you all for coming to stream today. We will be live again tomorrow doing more Darkest Dungeons! And I will be influencing the lack of vamping, the lack of spending half the stream on Magic the Gathering, and I will be beginning to send scheduling emails out tonight for deck roasting. So I will see you all there at noon Pacific. YouTube, that's it for us. Twitch, have fun with Elk, and please remember to stay toxic.